At this time, I'd like to welcome NANOG's Program Director Valerie Wittkop to the stage to facilitate the NANOG 95 community meeting. Joining Valerie on stage are several committee representatives.
Pick how you would like to go. No, just get a seat. We'll be good. This organization is about how all of our committee meetings work as well. So you're getting a behind-the-scenes look here as to what's going on. Welcome to NANOG's community meeting. It's happened a few different times over the years. We're trying out another iteration of it where your peers that are NANOG members that have volunteered for committees are up here on the stage talking about what it is that they've done and how they are helping to make this event good for all of you sitting out there on the stage. So we're going to start with some organization updates that you have to listen to me for, but then we'll go into committee reports and you'll hear from all of the people that you actually came into this room to listen to. We'll have a representative, Angela from Compudopt, who we are partnering with for some community service. And then we're going to go back to Chris Woodfield at the end to do a bit more talking about Fergus, who was on 4 different committees over the last year. And so we want to really make sure we remember him well. Before we move into if there's any time left, open comments. If we don't have time left for open comments, we always have email addresses that you can reach out to us at, and we'll always be happy to hear from you without it being from a mic. So, organization updates. You may have noticed in the past that if you went to nanog.org and tried to search for something, the results weren't always stellar. We have launched a new search function improvement. It has indexing now that goes over the website itself, materials from the archive site, and it looks at the title, the author, the abstract, the event transcripts. So if you search for a phrase somebody might have said, you'll actually get a result back. We want to know what you think about this. We would love for you to start using it. There is a feedback button, I believe, that is on the top of the search results page. So use it, get some results. Let us know if they match what you thought you would find or not. And we'll go forward from there. But a little animated GIF. Type in what you're looking for, hit search. There are different access points that you can look at. You can look at it by presentation, by event type, by story, or by event. And when you click into a result, you will get, if it's a presentation, you will get a talk view page. That's what we're calling it internally. That talk view page will then give you the speakers. Speakers, if you have a public profile, your picture will show up. Otherwise, it's the regular silhouetted background. Abstracts, bios, materials, and videos. And this goes as far back for all of the material that we had. So if you had been looking for something and it was on archive and you couldn't get to it anymore, you can get to it again now. You don't have to go to Google. nanog.org, it's the answer. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Adair for our program committee.
All right, I'm Adair Thaxton. I am the chair of the program committee, which makes me an honorary member of the board. That's why you see me an awful lot, and if I'm out there in the social space, there's often a line of people waiting to talk to me. One of the primary reasons that people have approached us in the past is to ask what they should be expecting as presenters once they get on stage. And to that end, one of the things that we did at our last meeting was we started producing a speaker FAQ video. It's about 10 minutes long, focuses entirely too much on my face, and just walks you through the things that you need to know as a presenter. We talk a little bit about why we have some of the presentation guidelines up. We talk about what is on these monitors up here, what you're gonna see, and we try to make it as helpful as possible so that hopefully everyone who is presenting will watch that video and feel somewhat reassured. We have a number of different types of content that are available to us on as part of the program committee. We have regular content. The goal of that is education and information. We also have tutorials that are submitted to us. Tutorials are typically longer form talks that aren't hands-on, they're hands-off. And we complement that with workshops from the workshop committee. The purpose of a workshop is for hands-on experience and training. We're also bringing back BOFs, as I said in the opening, Birds of a Feather sessions. Our BOF this evening is being held opposite the Peering Coordination Forum. It's being led by Jonathan. Jonathan, is that you? Yep, right there. And the topic of that BOF is going to be NOGs, Network Operator Groups. We also have a hackathon that is put on. A number of the people who are on the program committee are also involved in a number of these other committees. We could not put this program on without help from every single person on this stage and, I don't know, probably half of you out in the audience. So, go. Audit committee.
Double clutch now. Good afternoon, Tom Beecher from Yahoo for the Audit Committee. Probably one of the easiest updates we're going to get up here today. Our function is not to actually audit the organization, but simply to work with selecting the auditor that will audit our organization and review that report to flag any concerns that the board needs to be aware of or the membership at large if we feel that's required. Really simply, Q4 2024, we needed to select a new auditor, went through an RFP process and selected Smith Schaefer to perform that function. Received their report early 2025, reviewed it as a committee, and we have no issues or concerns to raise to either the board or the membership at large. Thanks.
Yeah.
That is a good update. We like it when our books come back without any issues to report. From the next committee head, we are going to hear from Clara on the Community Engagement Committee.
Yeah, and I'm going to sit because I made the terrible decision of wearing heels today. But yeah, so our committee really is looking to build community at NANOG. We know that for many of us, the reason we keep coming, and we come 3 times a year for most of us, is that we find NANOG to be an opportunity for growth for all of us, to meet people that are like-minded, that help us grow in our careers. And so we've been looking at ways in which we can facilitate that. One of them is NANOG Active, which is really the running club in the morning, and now we're doing yoga. We've had pickleball. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it happen for 95 just because of logistics. There weren't nearby courts, but we will bring it back next year. We also organized the Women in Tech Mixer, taking place the Sunday before the conference fully kicks off, kind of to give women an opportunity to meet and network right before the conference gets started. And usually we will have a fun theme. Kelly Sieben has kind of injected a whole new set of ideas and a lot of energy into it. So it's a super fun event. And we're also holding a Community Connect lunch on Tuesday, so tomorrow, where we'll have, networking activities for people to get to know each other. And we also worked on something super exciting for this meeting, specifically on a partnership with Compudopt, but I'll let them speak to that later.
Thank you, Clara. Next up, we have Michael Voity, who prefers to go by Voity. It's what I've always called him for several years now. So Voity, please, Elections Committee.
Thanks, Val. Once again, my name is Michael Voity. I'm from the University of Vermont. If you don't know where Vermont is, it's way up north, right by Canada. I'm an hour and a half door to door to Montreal. I am the chair of the 2025 NANOG Election Committee. There are 6 other members on the committee with me, and some of them I can see from here. Frank, if you want to stand up, you're my vice chair. Thank you for all your help so far this year. And as well as Kat Gorinsky is our board liaison member, and Kat is sitting right up front. Thank you, Kat, for all your help so far this year. Our role is to ensure a fair, open election for the NANOG membership. We meet on a bi-weekly basis to plan the timeline for the elections according to the bylaws. update communications for the website and messaging, and oversee the window for nominations and statements of support. If you are a NANOG member, you are aware we're currently in an election process. If you're not a NANOG member, it's not too late to participate. You can become a member before midnight tonight, Central Time, and take part in the 2025 election process. Elections are held annually and serve as a method to seat the governing body of NANOG organization, as well as approve any proposed bylaw changes. There is a board candidate session tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. in the Honor Ballroom A and B. I think that's this, right?
No, this is Monument. So it's around the corner.
Around the
Fact
corner.
that NANOG is active. We'll let you get your steps in tomorrow morning.
Yes, get your steps. Where the candidates will be answering questions and talking about NANOG. Please make sure you spend some time at that session or reviewing the candidate bio pages. Links to all things election related are located, sorry, my brain skipped. Links to all things elections related are located on direction on the landing page of the nanog.org main webpage up on the right-hand side. And please don't forget to add your statement of support for the candidates you choose. Statements can be made through the election timeline. The ballot will open tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Central Time and run until 12 p.m. Central on Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. Keep an eye on your email for messages from the election committee with the details you will need to cast your ballot. And remember about the election, and reminders about the election process. Your voice does matter, and it takes about 30 seconds to use your to cast your vote to make your voice heard in the NANOG 2025 election. Sorry for bumbling that up a little bit.
Thanks, Voity. The next committee that we have is the Hackathon Committee. Chris Woodfield is going to speak to that.
Hello, I'm Chris Woodfield. I serve on the program committee, but I'm also the chair of the Hackathon Committee. We've been doing the hackathons. Thank you. We've been doing the hackathons in some form or another since I think 2016. So this event has a long history here with NANOG, and taken various forms. I believe when we started, it was a sponsor that proposed the idea, and all we did was we gave them the space, and then NANOG took over it, and we've done various project-based, various challenge-based, and we just tried a lot of different things to see what works best, and experimenting, different formats, different challenges, different topics, and I think that served us very well. Steve Feldman is our board sponsor, and I see Steve Ulrich over there, who serves on the committee. I don't see if anybody else. So there's Ryan on stage, who serves on the committee with me. I don't see anybody else, but if you are out there, stand up. So anyway, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Ryan. So where we see this going forward is that we're going to be holding hackathons twice a year. We're going to be holding them in the February NANOG and then during the June NANOG. And we're going to be following a pattern of continuing with the challenge format that you've all seen with the leaderboards, and using our system to challenge our participants to solve networking problems. This coming February, we have an opportunity to work with a yet to be named sponsor to work out solutions using AI and LLM models in order to solve network problems and find solutions to automation scenarios and network operations challenges. And we're looking really forward to see what people come up with in that regard. In the June NANOG, we're going to be focused on project prototyping and creative building, which is a format some of us have called the builder format, which also has a long history with Hackathon. And so we hope to we hope to continue with that cadence, and we're going to make the registration easier than it has been before. So, hopefully that will gather more interest and more participation in the hackathon. And sponsorship opportunities are available for the NANOG 97 June hackathon next year. So, if you are interested, please come and talk to us, and hopefully we'll be able to make something happen. Thank you.
Up next, we have the Mentorship Committee, and we have Alex Latzko speaking to that.
I guess that's me. Sorry. The NANOG Mentorship Committee oversees the Volunteer Ambassador Program, the Newcomer Orientation, the Mentorship Project, and a new Community Connections program, which we'll get to at the end of the 2 minutes. The Mentorship Program is a volunteer program which connects volunteer mentors with mentees. Just send email to the appropriate address that's linked on the NANOG website, and we will associate a experienced, seasoned mentor with a mentee. And while it's mostly towards the industry, there is always the personal side of mentoring which takes place. The Ambassador Program started in Toronto. If you see people who are wearing the purple ribbons, can ambassadors raise their hands? You can come up and ask people who have a purple lanyard and a little ambassador sticker questions about the conference, questions about protocol, about the conference, where things are at. And most importantly, you can ask where the restrooms are. We should know. The third thing is the Mentorship Committee is the producer of the Newcomer Orientation. I am seeing some faces that I saw earlier this morning. Hope it was worth the effort to come. And starting in the next Seattle will be the Community Connections, where we will sort of be connecting an ambassador with people on site. Not quite like the mentorship program, because it's more of a on-site, not leader, but here we are. You could do that, you could do that, and it's some past knowledge being put forward.
Thank you, Alex. Alex is a last-minute fill-in. Sometimes our committee members have day job obligations that get in the way of them being on stage, and Alex was gracious enough to join us and fill in. So thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
And I know from Alex's time on the program committee that he is a master at improvisation. So he can fill time like nobody's business. We miss having him, but we're glad he's on stage now.
Our next committee update is going to come from the Moderation Committee. Ryan.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, a co-chair of the NANOG Moderation Committee alongside Kate Gary. If you're not familiar with what we do, our job is to keep the NANOG's online community spaces, like the mailing list and Discord, welcoming, professional, and running smoothly. We help make sure conversations stay productive and within the code of conduct so everyone can focus on the fun part, talking about cool technical stuff. We're always looking for more committee members, so if this kind of behind the scenes community work interests you, come chat with me or anyone on the committee this week. Quick snapshot of what is going on. The Discord has grown a lot, from January at 375 users to now over 1250, and over 20% of those users are NANOG members. The mailing lists are still active too. And yes, we had to moderate a few users when they did not follow the code of conduct. Nothing major, just trying to keep things respectful. Speaking of that, mailing list thing just came in. We have also started holding all new mailing list members under moderation. It's a simple way to keep discussions constructive, prevent spam, and give folks a chance to see how things are run here. Through automation, the committee is immediately notified of new mailing list submissions and are reviewed as quickly as possible. For those of you on Discord, we prefer, not require, that you change your server profile name to match your first and last name, and you can include your ASN and / or your employer if you wish. This allows us to assign roles like NANOG member more easily and makes it clear who's who, to identify who's who in conversations, especially those are coming in from different companies or time zones. If you're uncomfortable with that, that's okay. We are respectful of users that wish to remain anonymous. We just cannot assign them roles. On the technical, on the backside of things, between the NANOG organization, Brian Fields, and I myself, we recently migrated the mailing list to a new provider. This is separate from the moderation committee, but just getting an update overall. We ran into a few hiccups along the way, mostly involving a big email provider that did not like our noisy neighbors a bit. However, that's all sorted and everything is running smoothly. If you haven't joined the NANOG Discord yet, grab your phone and scan the QR code on the slide. The conversations there are great. We've recently had discussions on RPKI, industry news, along with some other operational discussions. Jonathan coordinates the Run Club during NANOG conferences, and may also find conference attendees organizing coffee meetups and meals during the conference. During the meetings, the main stage and breakout room channels are brought to focus where attendees can chat about the current talks amongst all interested parties. It's really a fantastic way to stay connected between the meetings, share ideas, or catch up with people from the community. If you'd like to know more about the moderation committee or are thinking about joining, come talk to me or anyone on the committee. We are happy to share more about how it all works and how you can keep NANOG's communities running strong. Thank you.
Our final committee update for today is going to be the workshop committee, and it's back to Clara.
Yeah, so with the workshops committee, we're working on a somewhat new type of content at NANOG that's going to focus on hands-on training sessions that could be on a specific technology, and they could also be vendor-specific. They require advanced registration. At NANOG 95, we have the RPKI deep dive with Aaron and a BGP session for data centers. I think the second one has like 3 seats left, so if you haven't signed up yet and you're interested, make sure to go there. And we still have a few seats left for the Aaron RPKI deep dive on Wednesday. But yeah, we worked throughout the year on finalizing the submission and evaluation format, so it's still going to go through a quality review with the committee, and then we'll work through the process of engaging with the workshop provider's submission. One thing to keep in mind is if you want to take part, we have the web page already online there, where you can take a look at what type of format talk we're looking at. And if you're a participant, make sure that you sign up to participate in the specific workshop. As I said, we have limited spaces for those. One thing that's different about workshops as well is as a way to try and engage with local attendees in each city, as well as students, they can sign up specifically to participate in a workshop, subject to a separate fee. But yeah, for 95, we still have submissions rolling in, so if you're interested, come talk to us.
Thank you. All right. These are the committees. They are the workhorses of NANOG. There are 7 of us as staff members. And so the majority of what you see here, the majority of what you see in the mailing list and when you hear about the things that are happening, they are happening because NANOG members decided to volunteer, or because they had a passion about a project and they were interested in being able to share that with the rest of the community. So if you heard something today that piqued your interest, join a committee. They will always be happy to welcome new folks onto the committees with them. They are typically 2-year terms. You can serve up to 4 in a row on any various committee, so it gives you a lot of time to actually come up with an idea, develop a program, and roll it out to the rest of the community at large. They really do, y'all are really great. They always say that it's the staff that make them look good, but quite frankly, there are only 7 of us. The work that they do make it possible for us to do the rest of the work and support you all in the committee. So if you would like to join them and work with some of us really fun NANOG staff members, in January, the nomination window for standing for a committee will open. The details are all there. The form is even there. It's just turned off right now, but I promise I will turn that form on January 5th so that you can fill it out and stand for a committee. If you're interested and you don't want to forget, because I know life gets busy, send a message to member-support@nanog.org. I'll make a list. I'm really good at making lists and going back and checking them off. So if you're interested, send a message to member support, and I will personally email you come January 5th, letting you know that that form is there and to please fill it out. With that, I would like to move into letting Angela speak. She is from Compudopt, and we have just so much exciting, fun stuff going on. So please, Angela.
No, thank you, first of all. We wanted to say thank you very much for NANOG for reaching out and having us here. I'm Angela Gerlich with Compudopt. We are over by the espresso bar, so we'd love to talk to you guys about our initiatives, but we invite you to come over. We are doing totes and notes. You can help us stuff our tote bags and write a small note to the community where we distribute our refurbished devices, and at the same time learn about how our ITAD Plus program really goes back into the communities throughout the U.S. Compudopt was founded in Houston, Texas, but we actually have 6 sites. We have had 23 states that we have gone into, and I think it's 80 cities or 60 to 80 cities. So that number just recently got updated. We'd love to talk to you about how we can work with your IT department, help you get your old hardware and everything out, and then put it back into the communities that you have that we can serve. So again, come and caffeinate yourself, and then come and stop by and say hello, fill out a tote and note, and help us reach our goals. So appreciate it.
Thanks, Angela. Jonathan spoke this morning very eloquently about In Memoriam, and Chris Woodfield is now here to speak a little bit more.
Hi, thank you all. Again, I'm Chris. I would say that, like many people still here, I'm one of those people who has been coming to NANOGs for quite a long time, almost as not quite as long as Fergus did, but almost. So I wrote a script here, and I plans on reading from it, and then I realized no one wants to hear me read from a script. So I'll do my best here. As we all know, we've all suffered a great loss. When Fergus passed away earlier in this month, it's almost inconceivable to have a NANOG without him, and not just a NANOG, but a RIPE, an APNIC, any other NOGs and groups that you can possibly think of, and many of whom he built, many of whom that he put the people together to start up communities all around the world, and he made himself indispensable. He made himself ubiquitous. And not just because of the orange shirts, great marketing move, by the way. And we're all going to miss him very much. And it's kind of hard to overstate that. I do want to talk about him as a person. His professional compliments pretty much speak for themselves. But I really do want to talk about him as a person. And the first thing is that this community has quite a number of larger-than-life figures, and it's hard for me to imagine anyone who was more of a larger-than-life figure than Fergus was. If you came to any meeting, you would come, here's your badge, here's your t-shirt, oh, and meet Fergus. He really was the kind of person who would talk to anybody. He would introduce himself. He would remember your name, which is impressive. For as many people as he would be talking to on any given night. Share his drinks, share stories, but also a very active listener. Opinionated, to be sure, but we're engineers, of course we are. he loved his job because he loved people. And, that's, if there's anything else, that's something I want to say is that, he really did love this community and all the other communities that he built. And, a trusted friend, trusted mentor, trusted colleague, and, we're all the worse for his passing. And, it's really hard to fathom. But, the best we can do is honor his memory and then move along and do what we can to put the pieces back together. I did want to share a personal story, if you'll indulge me here, because I think it's a really good way to talk about the kind of person he was. As many NOGs as I've come into, it's kind of hard not to know Fergus. If you come to NOGs, he's the person you talk to at the bar. He's the person you'd go out to lunch with. Shared many events, and on all the committees that we served on together, including the hackathon committee, which I chaired. So that's another loss right there. But a few years ago, as many of you know, he lost his wife, Susan, also a pillar of our community and someone else we all miss very dearly. And at that point, some of you are aware of this, but Fergus and I both suddenly shared a lived experience of losing our spouses. And so, I reached out, didn't want to pressure too hard, but, if you need anything, I'm here. Let's talk. And so at that point, we just started chatting a little bit, here and there, text messages, not just from our Slack conversations about NANOG committees, but really keeping up with each other and talking about our lives together. We never really talked about our grief because we're stubborn, stoic engineers, and most of us aren't built like that. But everything else, and he gave me the attention I needed, and me him when we did our best to make sure the two of us were doing okay. So we'd meet for dinner, we'd make time for each other whenever we were out a meeting. NANOGs, again, RIPE, AP-NIC. I think there was a PTC meeting that we wound up at together and having a couple dinners with, and really did form a deep bond. And I'm always grateful for that. And that bond does not end with a death. It's there, and I feel it strongly, and it will be there as long as we all keep his memory alive. And I think that's kind of the highest praise I can give. A few of us are organizing a small gathering, small being relative. Tomorrow, after the beer and gear, it will be on the veranda, which is the area past the bar if you make a left. So we'll have that area reserved for us. And if you'd like to come share a memory, do a toast, or just enjoy everybody who cared and loved him, and share those stories, we'd love to see you there. So thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We have a few minutes left. I have to say, when we first started putting this together, that there are 9 committees. There's a lot of committees in order to get everything done for NANOG. And so it was, give us an update on what you've been doing. Let the community know how it is that you're actually making NANOG work for them. But you got to keep it to 4 minutes. And so when I timed it all out, I said 45 minutes. We're going to, you can't say everything in 4 minutes. And they proved me wrong because we still have 11 and a half minutes to go. So Q&A, open discussion. This is the community meeting. You are the NANOG community. Any questions about what you heard today? Any open discussion? Any feedback you want to share from the microphone? Please step up. We have 11 minutes now because I just kvetched for 20 seconds.
Hi, Tina Morris, AWS. I mostly complimentary. The search feature is fantastic. It's what we've been looking for and having all the content there for. We've been hoping for that since the website switched. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
A large shout out actually goes to Greg Newman, who is the developer for NANOG. We are so lucky to have him on staff. and his brain and the way it works and how he codes for us and makes everything work is just amazing. So I don't know if he's watching, but when I talk to him on Slack later, I will let him know.
And the second one was Discord. I think it's a wonderful success, mainly because of Ryan's hard work and several other people in the community. But I was mentoring a couple of college students that want to become network engineers recently and told them about our Discord, and their jaws dropped. They're like, "You have a Discord? That's amazing." So keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Anything else? Any online comments that came in? Well, I guess if they're going to be as efficient next time we do this community meeting, we'll have to find something else to talk about for another 10 minutes. Kate's going to come up to usher us off. So thank you, everybody. Please, in the audience, give these folks a round of applause. They are a small representation of about the 70 different volunteers that we have working on the various committees.
Well, as Val said, that was awesome. Great job, everybody, and thank you for the heartfelt words, Chris. It's been kind of hard for sure, so I'm glad you guys are doing something tomorrow too. Well, thank you again for everybody. Really, thank you for your time, dedication, and contributions to today's program and beyond.